Hello, my name's Penny Eyes, and my name's Drawn On Eyes. I bet it took us ages to think of that name. Yes, it did. Well, anyway, welcome to the first ever episode of... What's it called? We don't have a name. Oh. Well, doing this arts and crafts thing. Yay! Yay! It's the first full episode. Yay! Woo! Woo! Hee-haw! Hee-haw! Right, so I'm quite excited. This is the first ever full episode of our little arts and crafts sessions. So we've got 3 things for you today. The first one is... No, we'll start with the last one. That's a good way to start, I think. So the last one is the way I'm going to end every session. And I'm either going to talk about an artist or an arts movement, or I'm just going to get one of my books off my shelf and talk about it. But because we've been talking the last tester films, we've been... doing drawing and things like that, I thought this book, don't look at it myself, let you look at it, this book would be an ideal one to start with. It was from an exhibition called Drawing the Line, and it was a touring exhibition, but I went to see it in the Ferrans in Hull, and the date is, if I can find the date on it, here we go, 1995. So it's quite an old one, but we're going to have a look at a few pages, and I'm going to talk a little about what drawing, basically. So that's going to be the end. Before that, we're going to make, which you might have already seen, Penny Eyes and Drawn On Eyes. We're going to make these little puppets. So, and then there's this one, this is a snaky one. Yeah, come on. So he's kind of cool. So yeah, and then we're going to make some out of bits we found around the house. If you don't have any paper, make some out of newspaper. But we're going to start with this. It's called stacking, and it's a drawing thing. And the 2 things you will need is a pen. Oh, the 3 things really: a pen, and or a pencil, and a piece of paper. If you've only got a pencil, then that's fine. If you've only got a pen, that's fine. But it is kind of nice to use both for this. So we'll go to the other camera, and I'll show you a few examples, and I'll show you how to do it. So first of all, this is a finished one, and you start off by drawing a rock, and then you draw another rock next to it, and then you carry on going up and up and up. Okay, but the idea is that if the rock looks like it's going to fall off, you have to put a rock underneath it just to try and hold it on. Now this one doesn't really work because that one would obviously fall down. So this one, I've put my name in it, I've put my name there, and then drew rocks round it. And this one, I've gone a bit crazy going round like that. So I think that middle rock might just fall out because that one should really be down here to hold it in. But it doesn't matter. Things like that don't really matter. And then this one, the rocks I've drawn are all really square. And this one's half finished. So I'll put that one to the side. And you can also paint it. Now I've painted this one, or you could colour it in with pencil crayons, or you could colour it in with... felt tip pens or whatever you've got, but I think it's a good idea to start with just black and white to start with. So let me show you how to start. Don't start at the very bottom of the page. Draw a line for some ground, so a nice thin little line across the bottom, and it's ground, so it doesn't have to be dead straight. Then draw yourself a rock. Don't draw them too small because you'll end up drawing for hours and hours and hours if it's too small. Now, like I was saying before, you draw a rock next to it. So if I draw a rock there, what's going to happen to that rock? It's going to fall down here, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another rock next to it there. And now that's going to hold that rock up. And I'm going to draw another rock here. I'm going to do a long one like that. And then another one. Now, that rock looks like it might fall. So I'm going to put another, quite a big slabby rock there, a bit like a square one. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is, I am not drawing a rock like this, and then another rock like this, and then another rock like this, and like this. What I'm drawing is individual rocks all the way around. So don't just do that. You have to put a bottom on them, and you have to put a bottom on them like this. Okay, it's really important to actually get a bottom. Okay, so once you've got your full stack, I think it's kind of nice to draw a rock somewhere up there, and then you try and build up so he's not going to fall down. But once you've finished, just draw a tiny little curl like this on each one. Well, obviously that'd be quite a big one, but there'd be a rock up there anyway. There. This side, a little bit there, a little bit there, and then colour in all of the background with your pen like that. Now this is a gel pen, so this comes out the ink comes out quite freely, but if you've only got this type of pen, this ordinary type of Bic, then it still works just as well. Now, what I want to say is, if I just colour that in like that, all a little bit scruffy, now does that look as good as that? Of course it doesn't, no. So what we do is we try and get it so there's no little white bits at all. Colour it all in, all together. Get rid of all of those little white bits. And here's a tip, if you're doing anything that's arts and craftsy, do it neatly, and that will make everything you do look a little bit better. And take your time, don't rush. We don't have a time limit on this. We can just get on and get it done and in our own time. Now, can you see I've made some little bumps there? So if I just smooth that out, can you see that looks loads better than it did? Oh, missed a little bit down here, look. And then I always like to colour in the ground as well. So just take your time, colour it in, and get it nice and dark. Now, the reason I said if you've got a pencil, it's really helpful to have a pencil as well. That's because if we take a pencil and if we just, I'll turn it round so it's easier for me. If we just shade in a little bit at the bottom, just a little bit up the sides, because the light will be coming from the top. And what we're doing is making it look a little bit more 3D by putting a little bit of shade around the bottom. A little bit of shade really does make a lot of difference. Just around the bottom. like that. So I'll just finish that off so you can see it. And that's kind of all there is to it. But you do end up, there we go, if I put that the right way up so you can see it properly. Yeah, so I'll go back to the original one I showed you. There we are. So can you see it? And you just keep working and working and working as far as you possibly can. The one with my name on it, like that one, all you do is, I'll do it in pencil, you write your name. Now, because the W's right at the top, it's probably better to start at the bottom and work upwards, and then you're not going to really run out of space. Because if I'd have put a really big W and a really big A and N, I might not have had space for the E. So if you start off at the bottom with the E, and then you've got all the space up at the top. So we've got an N there. And so on and so on. And then you put rocks round it to keep him on. And that's stacking. Now you don't have to just finish with rocks. You could stack anything. You could start drawing suitcases. I've seen suitcases drawn. I've seen plant pots. I've seen anything that you can draw, which is kind of nice, simple shape. You can stack them together, or you could use a combination of all those different things and just put them all together. And the idea is to make it so they don't look like they're falling off. That's the thing.